Typography presents Robot/Computer. When trying to reproduce a robot or computer type font, think about how in a book, a movie, anything that's written, how do we want to demonstrate that a computer or a robot did this? Let's think about like a digital clock. Even the one in my classroom. Look how it's separated into these individual lines. Those lines represent the hands or parts of a clock that would light up. So already we have one idea of what to replicate to showcase that a robot or a computer is talking. Of course, we can think about like 8-bit graphics, something like the Minecraft way where we're just writing in boxes. Yeah, just by connecting these boxes together, which was the old form of communication through computers, yeah, we can recreate this. Think about how words were made and type fonts were made back in the early 80s communicating with a computer. It looked a lot like these boxes. Of course, there's more than one way to show things off digitally. This has a more curved but still straight or angular way of being presented. Viewing these, it does feel like they were still typed on a computer. We may have seen things like this before. Adding boxes to certain letters like the W, the M, N, just gives it that more robot-like feeling of having that in there. For any old school gamer fans who can remember the Oregon Trail, this was kind of the font they used. Just using green kind of told you that it was an old school computer screen. But then again, look at these boxes and rectangles that form the letters. Something like this will always tell us that yes, it is in fact done by computer. Of course, using machine parts or mechanical items will tell us that it is robotic in some form because robots are made with that. It is also used for machinery, but robots are machines. So yeah, using gears and screws and other forms like this will help us understand that it is a robotic or computer type thing. Of course, we can break down our letters into almost a continual line. Hey, remember that unit? Where we're going things. Of course, some of these are broken, but when we add a line with that dot at the end, it reminds us of and you'll have to ask Miss Maddox on this one, like a nano or a end piece to it that kind of makes it start to look computer-esque, like a circuit board. So we can kind of use those lines by adding a dot and a line to kind of make it look like a circuit board. Of course, we can go opposite and break up letters with a kind of circuit board with these straight lines that go vertical and horizontal, making it also seem robotic. Again, by adding dots to the end of some of these areas will give us the idea that it is a circuit that is running through. Of course, we can have like a robotic futuristic type language where it's not totally complete. We get the sense that the R, we don't need that back line because it's the only letter that has this type of function. Same with the B. Notice that there are dots where dots don't normally need to be. This just makes it look futuristic, hence robotic, hence computer-esque. So doing incomplete letters is sometimes still completing the letter. So something to think about when approaching your sketchbook. Of course, placing a robot next to it has never hurt. However, think about that for your final. But by adding dots and these little lines that go in there does make it feel more robotic. Remember, that would have to be like a bubble or a block-like letter that we're adding it to, but it does give that feeling of it's made of metal. Once again, we're hitting that circuit board / mechanical feeling just by using these lines. Again, this is all just to help us get these ideas in. We want that robot feeling. We want that computer-esque feeling. How are you going to produce that with your letters? Here's a type font that was used for a movie, aptly titled Robots, but look how they used like a machine or mechanical type letters that represent each letter. You get the feeling that these robots are mechanical, which is what they're supposed to be anyway. What a great type font to use. Not that everybody saw this TV series, Mr. Robot, but if you're going to call your show Mr. Robot, you should have a robotic-like type font. Look how these words, these letters have lines that go through it that kind of represent like a circuit board or machine. Here's a different poster to a different robot movie. Look how the letters are all angular. By angular, I just mean that they have the angles of a vertical and a horizontal line, assembling it so we imagine that a robot wrote this. Look at the stiffness of the letters in the word robot versus monster. It even has an antenna on it, like some robots would, because I guess back in the day, antennas were a thing that we thought would be on all machines. Not so much today. I don't see as many antennas, but we still draw them in things with the idea that that's what makes it robotic. Again, everybody should have their rubric. This time we'll be looking under the robot/computer section. Looking under the robot/computer section, you have a choice of 20, 10, or 0 points. Personally, I would take the 20 by writing the whole alphabet, uppercase and lowercase, in a robot or computer-like fashion. Of course, in your sketchbook, you should have a robot/computer section to do your words in. There should be an uppercase and a lowercase section. And of course, when you get to work, it's just pencils only. We don't need color. You can use it if you'd like. But how are you going to reproduce these letters? Remember, they don't all have to be in the same style. Just robotic or computer-like. Generating ideas is why we have a sketchbook. All right? So your A and your B are both going to be done in a robotic or computer fashion. But if you want to do blocks for one, maybe circuit boards for another, just give it a try, go ahead and do that. Please remember, I'll be looking for all 48 letters of the alphabet. Yes, that means all the uppercase and lowercase together.